Good evening, reefers. I hope you are all well. Tonight we have with us Tom from Mantis Reefs and Harry. Good evening.
Hello, how you doing,
Hello.
Steve?
Yeah, not bad, thanks. How are you guys doing?
Hi first.
Yeah, doing well, thank you. Yeah.
I'm good, thank you.
Excellent. So let's have a little look through the chats and see who has joined us tonight. We have the one and only godfather of reefing, John Wright. Evening, John. We have Mad Melinda, who it is 6 a.m. for her.
Wow.
That's commitment. We're talking about insanity. Hey, Tony, I got your package today. Tony posted me some fancy little 3D printed frag plugs with nodes, which Harry knows all about, and some RFID stickers.
Nice.
But he posted them special delivery, and it cost a fortune. I saw the price on the label. You're nuts, Tony. Anyway, moving on. Who else do we have in? We have Jordan. Hey, Jordan. How you doing?
Good evening.
Hello.
And who else do we have? Everyone's talking to each other. Paul Davenport, My Little Lagoon. Evening, Paul. How you doing? Dan's Reef. Hey, Dan. How are you? Maybe get you on this channel at some point as well. Alyssa. It's a fresh one for me. Hey, Alyssa.
There you are.
Matt. Good evening, Matt. How you doing? It crossed my mind to play a little snippet. I'm not going to do it. Yeah, I'm going to skip that one. Critical. Good evening. How you doing? And Haley's with us tonight as well. Hey, Haley. Hope you're well. And here we have the man himself, Scotland's funniest coral farmer.
Good evening, Ron.
Hello.
He's got a bit of a confession, though.
I love dong.
That one's not going to get old. We have Neil as well. Hey, Neil, how you doing?
What's Neil's long name, Steve?
It's like you're going to try and make me say it wrong, aren't you? I can tell. You're evil. It is the offshore reefer, or Olympic offshore reefer now. Who else do we have? Lee's with us as well. Evening, Lee. I hope you're well. It's great to have you on last week. And we've got Ron's alternative. So every week, Ron has an alternative. If you don't want to hit the like and subscribe, you can do something unusual. And tonight's is, if you don't hit the like button, he's going to come to your house and poo down your chimney.
I've got one.
He might find a way, like through the door lock or something.
I was just thinking, yeah, I'm sure he'll improvise.
You see, and we've got another one in here.
Spiritual reacher.
Evening, Harry. And we've got Ryan with us as well. Hi, Ryan. Hope you're well. The guys from Deep Blue Marine Emporium. Hey, and yes, I'm going to be talking about your my prize winning coral from you guys. And yeah, I'm assuming this is the video you sent me, which, without any context, actually now sounds even more disturbing.
Yeah.
And not that you've actually had a child.
No, I haven't. I've shared some news today, and I've been calling myself that species followed by Daddy just as a joke.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we've got a few little videos we'll show a bit later on. We have Woody's Reef. Evening, Woody. How you doing? And we have Tom.
Oh yeah.
Hope you're well, Tom. Who else is in here? Jamie. Evening, Jamie.
Evening, Jamie.
I'm going to be on with you on Sunday, so we'll have a chat then. Harren's Reef. Evening, Chris. Hope you're well. Mike, the guy from Reefy AF that everybody is very jealous of. Evening, Mike. Hope you're well. And who else we got? We've got Liam. Right. Liam tagged me in a picture today.
I'm sure there's an
looks like my
STL for
smile.
those.
Yeah, maybe chuckle. Who else do we have in? Nearly MS Reef. Evening, MS Reef. Hope you're well. I think we're getting near the end. I don't see any more new names, and we have just moved. Gaz's Reef. Evening, Gaza. Hope you're well. So, what has everyone been up to this week in reefing? What have you been up to, Tom?
I've been building some more stuff ready in the other room. I've become a father of a certain species, which we're going to discuss later on, I imagine. Other than that, I've just been eyeballing some stuff at some other shops and wholesale as well that I've been thinking about just getting in. What about you?
Well, we'll go to Harry first. What have you been up to, Harry?
Very little tank-wise. I've been playing around with nutrients a little bit more, and at Tom's suggestion, I'm trying some different schedules with my skimmer just to play around with that a bit. I managed to get my nitrates up a little bit, but that sent my phosphates up to 0.1, which is fine. I'm okay with that, but it's just that balance that I'm struggling with. But it's a long game, I think.
So there was a bit of an impromptu meet on Saturday at AAC. A few people turned up. I don't think Tom was going to turn up. And then obviously Drippy was relentless. And just kept badgering him until he got in the car and came down. I picked myself up a very nice gonny, which I've got a little video of here. Sitting front and center in my tank right now, and it's coming out. It's looking really nice. And what else did I do? I also received my competition win from Deep Blue Marine Emporium. So I'm just getting that up on the screen as well. So I entered one of their competitions. I'd actually forgotten all about it. And they went live to pull the competition. I just kind of went in to watch it. It turned out I won. So I won this Mardi Gras torch. And then on the Saturday, they had a flash sale. And I bought this gold chalice. Let's have a little look here. So, yeah, they're sitting in the tank. I'm going to give them a few days and then stick them in place. So, yeah, they're looking pretty nice.
Yeah, nice.
And also I ordered ABC reagents. Then I had to order some distilled water. So all of that has arrived now. I mixed it all up today. I've got it all in.
You can't use RO water then?
No, it has to be distilled. So I've got 4 5-litre containers of
that lasts
ABC
you a little while.
reagent now. I think it's 3 years worth of, somewhere between 2.5 and 3 years worth, if you do the 4 tests a day of alkalinity.
Yeah, wow. And what do they cost?
So the water cost me like 20 quid.
Yeah, sure.
And the ABC reagents cost me 200 and something.
Yeah.
Like let's say 230 quid all in.
Yeah,
That's
in comparison,
for,
that's
for all of that. Yeah, when it's 70 quid for 2 months worth,
sure.
that's a big difference. Yeah. And I've actually heard a lot of people saying that they prefer it to the Neptune as well.
Mm.
And then and then Reef Ron has just kind of preempted my next announcement. I had a little delivery on Tuesday. This very, very well packaged bubble wrapped box, which turned out to be a Stratton Pro. So
Very fancy.
and I'm really lucky it turned up at like 15 minutes past 12 or something, which was bang on my lunch break. So I then spent the rest of my lunch break, instead of eating, screwing fittings into the ceiling and hanging it and everything. Yeah, and it looks fantastic. So I've been playing around with that. It's really interesting, actually. I'm running it at 30%.
Wow.
It's I've got the web portal open here. So this is the web portal for it. I've got it running at 30%. We're just starting to ramp down now. And you can see at the top here, it's using 70 watts of power. Now that's providing more light in the tank than two Reef Lead 90s were, and they were at nearly maximum percent. So let's say it was 170 watts it was using, and this is using 70, and the par at 30 centimeters. So the first one is a little bit optimistic.
Wow, that's cool.
But
it's real time, is it?
Yeah, as you go down, like this 60 centimeters is absolutely bang on.
Yeah.
And the 45 centimeters is about 10% more than it actually is. You're talking probably 25% more than it actually is when you get to 30 centimeters. But that's double the amount of light that my Reef Lead 90s were doing at half the power. So it's 4 times the light per watt. I just thought that was interesting. Let me go back. Where's my notes gone? And yeah, that's about it for my week in reefing, really. So, what's been happening on here? Matt, look, is that copper band stuck to your wave maker? I hope not. No, it's still swimming round. I had a copper band a few months ago, and in my live stream, it got into a fight with my sailfin tang and ended up crashing into my fox face. And then it kind of spasmed a few times and died and just got stuck to the wave maker in the live stream.
That sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. It was not good. So, Mantis Reefs, you kind of dropped a little hint earlier that you've become a certain type of daddy.
Yeah.
Which sounds, every time I say this, it starts to sound a little bit more disturbing. So we better actually say what we're talking about now.
Yeah, I've been calling myself Cuttlefish Daddy all day, and I know it's a bit weird, but I thought it was a bit funny.
Let me see if I can find some of the pictures. So let me mute it and put that on the screen. So this is one of them.
Yeah.
So just here.
So far, it's the only one that has hatched from the cluster of eggs. The rest appear to be developing well. And it's just settled in on the sand now and slowly blended in. He's alive, been pumping. I think he's still eating on, or she is still feeding on the yolk sac that's left over. and in a
Yeah.
day or two, it'll start beginning to hunt the copepods in there. Yeah.
So
Excellent.
cool.
Mhm.
I think we did have. I think that's a still. That one's a video, and I think on one of these it does actually start to
Yeah.
do a bit of color
one.
change. I think it's this one.
I think I sent one to you earlier today where you can see the proper change in it. You see, well, that was this
Okay.
afternoon.
So that will be
That one, yeah.
this one.
Yeah, you can see in there the
Yeah.
chromatophores and the skin have started to change. You can see his little face poking out.
Yeah. And then that was the one that we looked at before.
That's the one where it's just hatched from the egg.
Yeah. Yeah, that looks really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so I've been a little bit tempted with like some of the oddball things like this because you don't see them every day.
I'm not a big fan of generally get them in because cephalopods in general have such a short lifespan that generally if you don't get to interact with them for hours a day, it is a shame to deny them what they've experienced out in the open ocean. Personally, that's what I think anyway. And someone asked me to get them in, get them one in. I had the ability to get a cluster in, so I thought, well, I'll give them a go, see what happens.
Yeah.
Hopefully I can pull it off.
Yeah, that'd be good, wouldn't it? So I've got a whole raft of pictures. I think actually they came through when I was sat down for dinner with my wife and daughter, and my phone just went absolutely nuts. And I think 80 messages came in back to back.
I did warn you.
Yeah, I was expecting it, but my wife was like, "What the hell is going on with your phone?" So do you want to talk us through some of these? They'll be in reverse order, obviously.
Yeah.
So I've started at the end.
So that's from one of my personal tanks, which is just over there. I call it the NPS cube because it's where I keep all the ones where I feed all the time. Like every time I walk past that tank, I'm dropping in particulate foods like rotifers, copepods, and such. There's that blueberry is what it was sold to me as, but I've not seen a blueberry look like that before.
Yeah.
There's also some golden polyped gorgonians in there, a chameleon gorgonian, the tube nem that I like to show off a lot is also in there. And the only fish that is currently in there is a black eye storm clown. And that's it.
Okay. There's another
same tank,
picture. Yeah, you can see the blueberry name in it a little bit more on that one, can't you?
Yeah, but usually when a blueberry, the skin all over the gorgonian is a bluish color, and when it closes up in the polyps, they tend to be a bright white. But when that one's polyps are closed, they're more pink than white. It's quite unusual.
Yeah.
Same one, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen them at AAC, and I've been tempted, but I don't think I would be feeding it enough to keep it alive.
Yeah, I just want to figure it out personally. That's the tube nem that I was mentioning. Yeah.
Yeah, that looks fantastic, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's beautiful. At night, it just extends all the way out and just opens up really wide.
What kind of free space does it need around it? How much does it open out?
I've given it about, let's say about 4 inches because I had a orange pussy coral next to it, and I noticed that at night it was reaching that, and as a result, it was not opening or feeding, so I had to move it away because it was getting stung.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And I'd definitely not keep any slow-moving fish with a tube nem. That's just going to end in disaster.
Yeah. They are stunning, though.
They are, yeah.
So
Well, that's what's behind me.
Yeah, is that a personal tank then?
Yeah, that's my personal one right behind me. It's a SBS dominant, mostly acros. There's a few LPS in there. There's a Goldmeister, Chalice, watermelon, or if you're American, hyper watermelon. Leptos.
Which one is your Goldmeister chalice? Because that's what that chalice is that I got.
It's the down in the bottom on the photo. It's left bottom.
This one.
Up a little. No, that's the watermelon. Up. That one there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like burgundy with gold specks all over. It's like right there behind me.
Yeah. Oh, hang on a minute. Do that again. Let me, because I can spotlight you like that. Yeah, there we go. Okay. It's growing nicely, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. And then there's some Leptocerus there. There was, I don't know what one that is, the orange one and the green one, but they've kind of melded together. And then
that's interesting, isn't it?
Spread the coloration, so the green one's starting to get orange polyps in it, and then the orange one's starting to get the orange polyps, green polyps, in it as well. That one, yeah.
It's interesting. What sort of coral is that then?
It's
is it a lepto?
Yeah, Leptastria.
Yeah, okay.
So I get Leptastria and Leptocerus sometimes muddled up name-wise.
Yes, I was about to say, because I was thinking Leptocerus, and I'm thinking,
I've got
entirely look like Leptocerus.
Leptocerus there, and then I've got the Jack-o'-lantern and 24K Leptos over the other side.
Yeah, over here.
Yeah, over there, yeah.
And I noticed someone's already spotted it. I've seen it in the background, and it's here in his picture. Moorish Idol.
Yeah. His name's Batra, and between him and the Achilles is his tank. He rules it. Yeah. Wow. They kind of shed. There's an equilibrium there that sometimes there's a disagreement between the two, but mostly there's a balance.
Yeah.
And they both look nori.
It's a shame John B isn't in anything. He bought one at AOC on Saturday.
Yeah.
So
it's right there now. Just hiding there. There he is.
Oh yeah. Wow. Yeah. They do look stunning, don't they?
Mm.
So what LPS do you have in the tank?
Just the chalices, the Leptastria and the Leptocerus. Everything else is SBS. Yeah, apart from the giant slipper coral that I always forget about. The big green tongue in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a slipper coral. I always forget about it, even though it's like big, fat, and dead center. I think it's because down on the bottom with the clams. I keep forgetting about it.
Yeah. So the watermelon chalice was this one. See, Gaz is asking.
That one, yeah.
It's that one there, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. I see it. You've got all the coral encrusting up the back as well.
Yeah. I didn't want a boring black box in the background, so I thought, you know what, I'll stick some acros and Monty on there and let them go to war and see who wins.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Got some great colours in these sticks at the front. They look lovely.
Thank you.
And you've got an interesting setup with your random flow generators.
I do.
Well, I would normally expect to see them pointing out like that. There, well, get your hands at, and yours is kind of. Like
I don't know why I did. I don't know why I did that. I think because when I first got the tank, there were so many of them, and it was really long. I was like, I don't know what to do. I'll twist them around and make it like that. It's some extra space for the snails to crawl on, for the urchins to crawl on. It's extra space for any coralline and other biofilms to build upon to help with the balancing of the tank at the time as well. Because when I first started this tank up for the first year, it killed SBS for like no one's business. If it went in, it would just die. And then suddenly at the year mark, it just found this balance, and suddenly SBS started doing all right, thriving to the point that it is now.
Excellent. I just wondered if there was like some mega secret behind this
No,
that,
I think
that no one else had realised.
Being a silly bugger.
I have to admit, trying to pop those things apart is
Too, yeah.
just the worst job.
So
Actually,
what
getting
have we
them
got
apart's all right. It's putting them back.
here? Yes,
Yeah.
especially when the flow's going.
Yeah. Oh, so envious.
Yeah. Any luck on your copper band hunt yet?
Yeah, I did speak to Essex Mirror. Is it Tony? I believe I had a good chat with him and spoke about some different options. And yeah, that was quite good.
Was that Essex Marine or was that
Coral Passion, was it?
Coral Passion?
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
Rettendon.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, they are stunning, aren't they? I'm hoping, touch wood, that my one survives and thrives. So what else? Some acans there.
Nice. Do you find the copper band ever goes for the acans?
The acans are in my lagoon, which is over there,
Right.
and that's got another copper band in. That one, the copper band in there is well behaved.
Mhm.
Copper band in there, questionable.
Mhm.
I did have some blastos in there that mysteriously vanished one night.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was him,
Yeah.
but he's not touched the Holy Grail or the pink acan that's in there.
Okay.
But I wouldn't trust him with a clam at all. If I put a clam in there, I'm pretty sure it's going to be gone.
Yeah. Just noticed we've got Ty with us this evening as well. Good evening, Ty. No,
Evening.
you haven't joined right at the end. It's your normal trick.
That's the NPS cube that I mentioned. That's the one with the tube nem and the other NPS. You can see there's a branching tube, branching sun coral on the rock as well.
Yeah. Yeah, so you have to feed the sun corals, right?
Not directly. It takes it out of the water column.
Okay.
Well, that one does, but I think that one's already used to tank life. If you get them when they've been maricultured out at sea or fresh in a shop, because I think that, those big ones that tend to golf ball up rather than branch out, you need to train them to come out at certain times if you want them to come out. Otherwise, you're going to have to be there at night to feed them because they won't come out during the daytime. If you are interested in those type of sun corals, I think the best thing to do is when you get them, slowly but surely throughout the day, is tease them with a bit of reefroids to try and get that pull-up response out. And then when you start to see it open up, stop the flow, get a bit of mysis, chuck it in. And eventually it'll learn that if I open up when the day's out, I'll get fed.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. So what else? Oh, another video here. What's this? So is that the misbehaving copper band, that one?
No, that's the good boy. He's in
okay.
Yeah, that's the same tank as this one.
Yeah.
That's a slipper lobster.
Okay, yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
Are these all eggs?
No, that's bubble algae. I had a bubble algae issue in that tank, and I chucked in some emerald crabs and that slipper lobster just to see what it would eat. Emerald and it started going to town on it, and now it's completely clear.
Oh, excellent. I had a serious bubble algae issue in my little tank that I've got a blue spot puffer in, or a Papuan Toby puffer. And I just took the rocks out and scrubbed them with a brush. That seems to have fixed it.
That's good.
Mantis shrimp?
Yeah, that's Pepper. She's actually behind the computer, but she sealed herself in, so I can't turn around and show her off because she's in mid-molt, I think. So
yeah,
she's in the process of getting frighteningly bigger.
Okay. Yeah, the problem is I found if you look at mantis shrimps, they look like they're planning to escape the tank and murder you.
Yeah, that's very
That's what
good. Yeah.
They creep me out a little bit if I'm
I
honest.
often, when people ask me about them, I often describe them as like the velociraptors from Jurassic Park. Like they're trying to figure out how to get out of the tank and just stab you.
Yeah.
But I think they're fascinating because when you look, they're one like fish. People think, oh, there's nothing there. But when you look at a fish in a fish shop, quite often that fish will look at you back, study you back as much as you are studying it. And sometimes it's not that obvious. They do it slyly, like flybys, and people just think, oh, it's showing off, but that fish is checking you out. While with inverts like mantis shrimps, you can see there's like little thought going on and there's little twitches when they're looking at you. There's something going on inside their head. Sure.
Yeah, and it's nothing good. That's what it always looks like to me.
Nah, they're misunderstood. They don't just want to murder everything. They're quite nice, yeah. Yeah, that's Pepper again.
Another one.
That's a yellow margin moray eel in the other room.
Wow.
Yeah, he's only about that big at the moment. He's potentially going to get 8 foot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Eels are another thing that I would really like to get one, but I don't think I could cope with it murdering everything in my tank.
Well, it depends on what moray or what eel you get, because he's a fish eater. I will hand on heart, he was quite possibly. I was stood there, looked at him, and was like, "Yeah, this is an impulsive buy, which I regret in the car ride home." But like snowflake eels, the only threat they're going to be is to maybe snails or other inverts when they get a little bit bigger, because they've got blunt crushing teeth, not fish slashing teeth.
Yeah, interesting. I've seen eels in my local fish shop a couple of times. I thought,
Do you know Sam, work experience reefer, Ryan's? I did a snowflake eel for him. He asked me to get a snowflake in for him. I got it. Did the treatments on it necessary to make sure it was healthy for him. And he came the other week and took it. So he's quite happy with it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I remember seeing him posting about, I think he was posting saying he was going to be getting one.
I think he's posted about it now as well.
Yeah. Okay. I'm a little bit crap at anything other than YouTube. So Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, I'm kind of on them all, but I'm not very active, and I'm terrible at keeping up with what's going on those platforms. So
yeah, I'm more on more active on Instagram than anywhere else at the moment.
Yeah.
Same.
Again.
Same, yeah.
Oh, what's this?
Oh, that was a crinoid that I had. Because sometimes they come in at wholesale, and again, it's another thing where I'm like, oh, why can't you leave it? Like, they're destined to die in most people's tanks. And I saw it, was like, you know what? I'll give it a go. I got it feeding, and then the wholesale contacted me saying they'd got another one in. It's in less good condition than that one. I thought, you know what? If this one's doing well, I'll get that one too. See if I can bring it back. I should have left it, because the moment I put the other one in the tank, that one just immediately went downhill, which made me start to think maybe there was a chemical trigger being released from the other one, that in our tanks, while in the ocean, it's like diluted out there so that it doesn't really affect it. In our tanks, it might be a catalyst that starts to make the other one then go downhill, because it was feeding really, really well one day, and then the next day it just was falling apart on top of the other one.
Yeah.
Shame. And it was literally overnight as well. The degradation happened.
Yeah, that's weird, isn't it?
Yeah. That's the same crinoid. Yeah.
Wow.
That looks like anime or something.
Mm.
It's insane. Color on it.
It was stunning. Yeah.
It's like some kind of burlesque.
Yeah, it was in the NPS cube. It literally just attached to this point at the top of the rock where the flow was perfect, where it could just capture all the food. And it literally just sat there all day just doing that thing where you just saw it just drawing it all into its mouth.
Wow.
Oh, that's Jerry. He's a saddleback clownfish. He's in the lagoon with the Naughty Copper Band. He's he followed me back home from the store that I used to be at when it got closed down. He's the guy said he's about 30 years old.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, he acts like it because all he does all day is lie on the bottom beneath a rock where the flow's low. And then when he gets fed, comes up like a grumpy old man, gets fed, and he goes back down to his little hole. That's all he does.
Yeah.
I love him. He's got some character to him. He's got like this little grumpy face.
Yeah.
Satosa, which is just there.
Okay. Just see we have Amanda with us. Good evening, Amanda. Hope you're well.
Evening.
Cheers. Oh dear. Come on, Rob. Knob coral. Maybe it was Rob that named all of Ron's corals. What do we have? Okay.
That's an Anacophora.
Okay.
Big little colony that's just there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Those polyps are really, really well. They look like Cyphastria at first.
Mm.
No, it's I used Orphic macro lens to get the shot.
Yeah, Ryan posted a picture. Ryan's Reef, who's in here, he posted a picture on one of the social channels. Can't remember which one, and I commented on it, and I was like, "Wow, that is phenomenal! What lens are you using?" And he messaged me and sent me a picture of that, and I'm like, "I was expecting you to have like something like this."
I want something like that, but no, the lens is all right for a little iPhone when you just slap it up against the glass of the tank.
Yeah, I mean, that picture is amazing. So, yeah, don't spend thousands on expensive cameras and swear about them, and then just get the lens that you've got, clip it to your phone, and take a picture with that anyway. Yeah, I do that too often.
That's the watermelon chalice under the same lens.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
Some lovely colours in that.
Mm.
Yeah, it's got like blues and greens and yellows and pinks. It's literally just right there next to me as well.
Yeah.
Right there.
See if we can go up that.
It's bad because
Yeah, there's a bit of glare in it. We see it better on the other screen. Yeah. Excellent. Evening, Reefy Reese. How you doing? I keep on. Trouble is, I've got what you can see on the screen on the left and what I'm sharing on the screen on the right. And I keep going to click on the left screen to change the next one, and that's the wrong screen.
Leptoceros.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks lovely.
Yeah.
I always say to people,
Oh.
jack-o'-lantern is like I think everybody should have jack-o'-lantern in their tank.
The
It
other
just
one's
looks so amazing.
The other
Quite
one's
a quick grower as well.
So this one's 24K, is it?
yeah. The obviously the other one's jack-o'-lantern, and then I got a bit of 24K, and I've put them next to each other to see what will happen if they grow into each other. Will they do what the Leptastria did? Will they meld? Will they fight? You know, whoever wins is the rightful owner of that rock.
Yeah, interesting.
That's the close-up of the golden polyped gorgonian in the other tank.
Okay.
Black corals, or some people call them curly gorgonians.
Yeah, you'd have to call that like a pigtail gorg or something, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
Is that
Same.
tube nem?
NPS.
Yeah, that looks so striking.
Smooth, though, I think. Yeah, it
Yeah.
has.
Yeah, so this is all in the NPS tank.
Yeah,
then,
that's the
yeah?
NPS tank. That's my biota yellow tang. I got it when it was about that big and see-through, and it took a while for him to go yellow.
Wow. Is this
That's
polyp extension?
jack-o'-lantern. Yeah. That's its. I don't know whether that's feeding response or whether it's a
Yeah.
I'm going to kill something nearby response.
I
Yeah.
get that when I feed my jack-o'-lantern. So
Yeah, that I had that. Sadly, he died not long after I got back from Aquafish. I got up one morning and the tank was white with bacteria, and it suffocated during the night, unfortunately.
Mm. So you were at Aqua last year?
Yes, I was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I know you must have attended because I've got your stickers somehow.
Yes, I was there, and
Yeah.
when you came, because I hadn't seen a picture of you until you joined the live stream earlier tonight, and when you came on, I thought I've spoken to you before somewhere.
It must have been there then. I saw so
Yeah.
many faces that weekend.
Oh yeah,
It was all. I can't wait to do it again later this year. It was so much fun.
yeah,
Did you
yeah,
go?
it definitely was.
Harry, did you?
I
attend?
didn't go. No.
Are
I
you
wish
going to
I
go
had.
this year?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Are you
good.
going both days?
Yes.
Excellent. Have you booked a hotel?
Yes. Same as you, I believe.
Okay, I was just about to ask that. Yeah, excellent.
Is
Yeah,
everyone
that'd be good.
staying in the same hotel? It seems like
Uh,
everyone's all in the same location.
I think there's 2 Premier Inns
Yeah.
close
Premier.
by that a lot of people were staying in, but there's a few different places.
Yeah, I'm staying in the same one as last year, which is the one that Amy and Frag Rocks and Reef Dork and Prestige Reef were in.
I was also in that Premier Inn. Yep.
Yeah. So I will be in there again this year.
Same. That's Leptastia, yeah. With the crazy polyp extension.
Yeah. Wow. That looks good.
What are you dosing in there, Tom?
Oceama.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm using Oceama. I use at the moment I'm not dosing KH or calcium, sorry, because I'm using Calquasser, but I'm still dosing regs A and O, the amino acids and the other trace elements.
Okay. They look great.
That's ARC Fireworks, I believe.
Okay.
Oh, that's my pink Monty. I have no idea where it came from, but it's a bright pink Monty that I just call Barbie Pink Monty because it's Barbie pink. I
see.
don't care about silly names.
There's a comment from Liam, Gill's Aquarium. So
Yeah, you got the
elephant
black
slug.
keyhole limpet, the elephant slug they're sometimes called.
Yeah. Weird looking thing and tasted like licorice. Okay.
Been spending too much time with Lee.
Yeah, we'll be having Pally pizzas next. Right, next one.
That's my black cucumber.
Okay.
He's still in there going strong, sand shifting and just filter feeding whatever he picks up in his mouth, and out the back end comes clean sand.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you've got some interesting creatures in your collection.
Yeah. That's my Pepper again. She's only small at the moment. She's only about that big
Okay.
for a peacock mantis shrimp. Had two other mantis shrimps. Both of them were quite substantial in size, and they didn't last very long. My first one lasted 4 years, and then the next one after that was only a year. So I was like, you know what, get me a small one, because at least then I can gauge, I can have more time with it rather than getting a big one and not knowing how much time I might have to bond with this animal.
Yeah. I see Lee's had to correct us. He doesn't eat slug because you can't put salt on it. Oh, we might have lost Harry, but hopefully he'll rejoin.
Yeah, that's Pepper again.
Yeah.
Morishide on Achilles with Copperban and getting back-ended from the yellow because he doesn't like his photo being taken at all.
Yeah. Wow. That Achilles looks nice as well. Really nice colour on it.
You know, I wasn't too keen on Achilles until I did some for customers last year, and at the end of it, I understood why people were so attracted to them. I just thought they were this black fish that had an orange spot on them. But when you see them in person, they've got these little flashes of electric blue that you just don't see, like usually in photos and stuff, that just make them look way more attractive. And then there's a sheen on the blackness, which is almost pearlescent, which again, you can't capture it in the photo, but they are a very attractive fish. There's more to just the blackness to them, I think, and I like the personalities they sometimes carry. Like most Acanthurus, they can be very boisterous. Is the word? Yeah, I'd say.
Yeah. Oh, so was that all of them?
I don't think so.
No, I'm sure. I reckon that's just those 78 in that collection. So I don't think we've looked at this one yet.
No.
So you also quarantine. You import for people, and you have quite a specific quarantine setup.
Well, I go hand pick fish from wholesale. I will also go hand pick inverts or import them. But yes, I do quarantine. I used to work at a shop locally, which was Reef Creations in Perry's Aquatics at Dunholm. That closed over a year ago now. But I just went in there one day and they had this powder blue in their bay. It wasn't doing very well. And they were on about euthanizing it at first. And I told them I could bring it back. I took my tank in, set up a quarantine in their back, and showed them that I could bring this little skinny, covered in ink powder blue back to life. And I did it. And then he offered me work there, so I accepted, and I bullied him into building a fish system that started doing full quarantine, which include like preemptively treating for ick, brook, velvet, you name it. But unfortunately, the shop got closed. He went off to join another shop, and I got left wondering what to do with myself. And I decided that I should continue trying to provide quarantine because there's not many places that do it or, do it properly. So at home, I do it from home under license and everything. And I treat for ick, brook, velvet, uranema, flukes, worms, and internals. I do it specific to species as well, because not everything can tolerate certain medications. So certain fish I will do via tank transfer method if they can't handle medications, or if it's a fish that's sensitive, it will be a slow ramp up to the medication.
Yeah.
And then they are monitored throughout the entire time, the levels of the medication, how the fish is behaving, making sure they're eating. And then at the end of a time frame, I will do a skin scrape for one of those fish, put it under the microscope, have a look at the slime coat and the scales, see if there's anything I can see. If there's anything that I can visibly see, I will assume it's still on everything, and then I'll reset the clock on that tank and keep it at therapeutic and keep the treatments going. And then at the end of that time frame, I'll redo what I've done, check it all. Once I'm happy, I'll transfer them into an observation system that usually has some sort of canary fish in it, like a black molly, just as a little indicator. They'll get observed, get fed up, make sure they're fat and healthy, and then they're ready for collection for people.
Excellent. That's like a really thorough, robust service. I think a lot of people would be interested in it.
The reason why I do it the way I do is I'm really anal about it. If I can't figure it out through research and stuff, I'll contact Humble Fish and ask his help. And I do it because at the end of the day, I'm a hobbyist like all of you. I love my display tanks. I love the animals. I'm obsessed with the ocean and the marine environments. It's something that is very passionate in my life ever since I was a child. And a few years ago, like everyone does, I went to the shop as a customer, bought a fish that I thought was fit and healthy, threw him in there. Learned from my lesson from that time, because that one tiny little fish. Can I swear? Am I allowed to swear? I don't know.
Yeah. Just don't use the C word.
Yeah,
that's the only one you can't use. Everything else.
Fucked everything. Like, it brought in velvet. I thought I was battling ick for a long time. I was losing fish. I don't know how I kept some of them alive for as long as I did. I think it's because I was literally throwing in food like a no man's business. And it all started because I went in, saw this fish, asked them if everything was all right. And they were like, yeah, it's fine. Came home, chucked him in, and then everything went belly up. So now nothing will go in that tank that's not been through some sort of quarantine. And that's including corals, because I do not want to go through that heartache again. And also, I don't want anyone else to experience that same heartache that I've experienced either, because when you lose that many fish or something, it's you don't think of it as monetary. It hits you hard as well, because sometimes you feel like you failed when it's not you who's failed. It's someone else who's failed you.
Yeah.
Think there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be that guy that fails someone. And if someone tells me that something's wrong, I will try and figure it out. And if they're having problems as well, I will help anyone who's having a problem try and figure it out for them.
Yeah. I noticed while you were gone, Harry, I'm not sure if everyone's hit the like button or not, but Ron said that maybe you'd rushed off to clean the poo. Throw the poo back out in the street.
I'm just a bit disappointed that we agreed not to speak about the payment aspect, but he's... No, one of my lights died, and I saw the other one flash, and I thought, I'm going to be in the dark in a minute.
Okay. We did. I'm sure I saw a question. Yeah. So Dan's Reef was asking, what are the dimensions of the tank behind you? Looks very tall.
I don't know. It's a 4 foot. It's an old Aquamedic. Not Aquamedic. Damn it! I always say Aqua One. It's an old Aqua One.
Okay.
I think it's about 2.5 foot deep. It's a really deep tank.
Yeah.
If I want to get to the bottom of it, I'm my head's going in there as well, or at least half my torso to get to the bottom. Yeah,
Wow.
it's deep. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't normally see them that deep, do you?
No, most
You
people
might get 60 centimeters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we have any other questions in here?
Was it Rob that was talking about fish prefer a larger distance top to bottom in a tank?
Yeah, we're trying to avoid the debate on whether it's depth or not, aren't we? Yeah. I think quite a few people say it, that you tend to get more natural behaviour from the fish.
Wouldn't it also
in deeper
depend on
water?
the species of the fish? Because obviously some fish do tend to gather in shallower waters,
Sure.
but some like the deeper aspects of the reefs.
Yeah. No more questions, just some banter in the chat. So let's put this back on. What other pictures have we got?
That's for Copper Band. He's currently in the other room in quarantine.
Is he a pre-ordered fish or one that's soon available for sale?
He's for someone already, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was just trying to line him up for you, Harry.
I'll be sending Tom a message. Wow. Such a stunning fish, aren't they?
And have you got any tricks to get them eating Aptasia if they're not already?
What, Copper Band?
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably won't like it though.
What's that?
Piss off the Aptasia. Go in there, mess it up with like a scalpel or something, or maybe a stick, so that it's torn apart. It'll draw in the attention of the Copper Band. It'll then slowly maybe have a few pecks at it, and it's only a matter of time. Eventually, with a Copper Band, again, with all fish, it's all down to the personality of the fish, I think. But some Copper Bands, you can get them, and you put them in the tank, and overnight they'll mess up all the Aptasia. They're gone. Some, it'll be a year, and before you start noticing any Aptasia starting to disappear, because he's only just started to peck at them.
Yeah.
No,
I got a couple in my tank, a couple of Aptasia. I've been using Aptasia X on them, and it knocks them back, but it doesn't wipe them out.
No,
so I'm hoping that a Copper Band will just get into the habit of keeping it, like cutting the grass, just keeping it trimmed back.
Aptasia is one of those things where I don't think it's avoidable. It's just you're going to maintain it. It's another thing of adding to a maintenance of a reef tank. You've just got to find that balance of, as long as it's not there and hidden down there, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the same one. Eating like a champion.
Nice.
Yeah, so the first one I got a little while ago, I bought it, and the guy at the shop it was quite upfront. He said, look, it's only just come in, so I would normally feed them up and get them feeding and everything. But I took it away anyway, and it took me, I don't know, probably a week and a half to get it feeding on frozen mysis. And I'd kind of documented my process, and I just released a video on how to keep how to get the Copper Band feeding off of frozen food, and then the live stream, it died and got stuck to the power head. Yeah. And I see Gaz Reef has said peppermint shrimp, so I put a peppermint shrimp in. I no longer have a peppermint shrimp because I have a hawkfish. And my hawkfish likes any kind of shrimp. So, yeah. So I can't, unfortunately, keep peppermint shrimp.
Might do all right. I think I've got either 2 or 3 peppermints, but it's hard to see them all at once. And then I've got
Yeah.
a can't think of the name. Red one. Blood.
Cleaner shrimp.
No, not the cleaner shrimp.
Blood.
The fire one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it the peppermint that eat Aptasia, or is that the other one?
Well,
Yeah,
it
but
depends, 'cause
yeah,
there's,
it's a species.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's so many
I-
different peppermints.
Yeah, I got some wild ones from AAC. They might be eating it, but you've seen my tank. It's almost like a carpet of Aptasia, so I don't expect them to. Yeah, I think the only thing that is truly going to sort out my Aptasia is going to be Bergia nudibranchs, which just get eaten before they get a chance.
Did you see Reef Dork's live stream last week?
Nope.
He was talking about. So when he had all these issues with his fish and he put them all into quarantine, he had Aptasia in his tank. So he bought some nudibranchs for it, put them in the tank, thought they'd all gone, reintroduced all his fish and everything, including wrasse, and then he noticed last week that he'd found 2 big nudibranchs in there.
They do tend to disappear, and then you reappear. Like where I've tried breeding them upstairs, some days I think, have they all gone? Have they all died? And then all of a sudden they reappear, and they're 3 times the size.
Have you ever watched them traverse the rock? Because they literally can squeeze into the tiniest.
Yeah.
And it disappear into nothingness.
Yeah.
I breed Bergia nudibranch. They're in the other room as well, just waiting for the brood stock to become available. But I find that the best way to generally release them is in a sump or in your weir box.
Sure.
They will find their way through everything.
Yeah.
And that way as well, it eliminates any of the worries of like, oh, if I release them into the tank, the fish are going to get them, because they can slowly then work their way up and around through everything.
Yeah, I think I might do another big order of them, because I only ever see sort of 3-4 max at a time in the breeding tank at the minute. I'm sure there's more, but so I think I'll order some more in.
You'd probably find like a rock, and you'd find all those balls all over.
Yeah. I see them on the glass every now and then. The eggs, but we'll see.
Yeah, that was an exquisite wrasse.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, stunning, isn't it? So are these all fish that have come in for customers orders?
Yeah, that one's gone. Still got that guy, the baby gold spot rabbitfish. He's mine. He's going in there when I think he's not going to get murdered by anything, because he's literally like that big at the moment.
Yeah.
I think if I put him in there, he'll just be bullied by everything.
Yeah. What else have we got?
That was Sam's snowflake that I mentioned earlier.
Okay. Oh, I love it.
Very cool.
Yeah. One day.
Don't ask me to pronounce this name, because I'm going to butcher it, but that's the Hawaiian state fish, the reef twigger. Yeah.
Upu aka, whatever it is.
Whatever. Yeah. It's like that.
Anyway, we need to pause and leave a bit of clear space and get Harry to just pronounce that again.
Oh, no. Oh, there's me soundbite. You've been waiting on it, haven't you, Steve?
I have, yeah. Come on, try it again.
No, I'm all right.
Oh,
Thank you.
You're spoiling my fun. John Wright's saying, how much notice do we have to give you before the fish are ready to collect?
It depends on the fish. and because so I generally go and get stuff every 2 weeks. So if you give me a message, I can give you a better time frame then. Because obviously, if you say, "Oh, I want this," I could be like, "Oh, okay, right, I can get that then." But at the moment, without knowing what you're after, John, just give me a message on Instagram or something, and I'll do better.
Excellent. And I've had a couple of people drop into the chat different options for how to say the name of that fish. Unfortunately, both people that have commented are highly likely to be just completely winding me up. Totally deservedly, because I normally wind them up when they're on the live streams. But yeah, so I'm not going to even try Aka Waka Taka Baka, whatever that is, triggerfish. And Ron's one looks more like he's copy and pasted it from a website, so it's probably more accurate. But
That looks at least close.
Yeah, I might have to practice that a few times before I actually say it. Oh dear. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Where did we get to? One of these, I think. Yeah. I noticed Rob said it as well. Unusual to see sand in a QT. Or was that your obs tank?
Nope, I use silica sand in QT because it doesn't absorb any of the medication, and it gives something for sand dwelling or wrasses. It gives them a place of safety to bury in when they're freshly spooked. Because as you know, some of the wrasses tend to like to bury themselves in the sand when they're a bit out of their comfort zones.
Yeah. Oh dear. Yeah, and Matt did give a suggestion for the name, but I think he really did just fall on the keyboard. So some of the
I see what he did there. He got a certain 4-letter word in that sentence. Yeah.
He did, yes.
Yeah.
He's very naughty, Matt. Yeah, so inverts.
Yeah, I've got a pond in the other room as well where I keep all the inverts separate from fish because if you don't know it, a lot of snails and hard-bodied inverts can carry these systematic forms of parasites on their exoskeletons.
Yeah.
So I quarantine them for over 45 days to ensure that the life cycle of those parasites are very weak.
Yeah, excellent. And I think John's very excited because he says you're the closest guest to Skegness he's ever seen on a stream.
Yeah.
What else have we got? So I'm guessing we've got a few. Yeah.
Inverts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Conch. Usual urchin.
Yeah. Any tips for sea stars?
Yeah, don't buy that one.
Okay.
That's I've forgotten its name, but that eats everything in its path. Like, it has no discrimination. If it's in its way, it's getting eaten. It doesn't matter whether it's alive or whether it's like algae, coral. If you get a leg on it, it gone. But for starfish, I think there's a lot of myths around them. Some do not like air exposure type stuff. And I think that's wrong. It's more as long as they stay moist, they're fine. And as long as they're not out of the water for too long, they're fine. But generally, as long as you get them in quick, it should be okay. Sand shifters generally tend to be easiest to keep out of all the starfish, I think. Although if you've got the ability to keep a chocolate chip starfish, those things are immortal. I don't know what it's eating in my sump, but that thing's living. And I cut its leg off to feed harlequin shrimp occasionally. Grows it back fine. Don't feed it, but it's like the Terminator.
Yeah. I think Ron's got a little starfish tip here. It's a little bit like the Five Guys sea star that I shared in last week's live stream.
Oh, actually, if you have a Moorish idol, you won't have starfish. I can tell you that.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either, but this, or it might be just mine. I might just be unlucky, but I had a red linkia in there, and my Moorish idol took it upon himself to eat said linkia.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. So I've had in fact, in this tank, I've got a blue linkia and a red linkia.
How are you finding the blue? I've been tempted by them, but I've not seen one, so I've not had the opportunity.
Yeah, I find the blue ones are. Do I want to say? I don't think I want to say more robust. They are generally fatter and look healthier than the reds that I've seen. And interestingly, my blue sea star was completely wrapped around the base of one of my torch corals, just on the skeleton, not on the flesh band, and it was cleaning everything on that skeleton.
Oh, so is it like?
And then it moved off somewhere else. I don't know what it was eating, but it was wrapped around like the shaft of the torch, probably for, I don't know, 5 hours before it moved off. It was eating something.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So Tony said, "Your mic check 3x5."
I think
Not
that
quite
was a
sure.
while ago. I think Tony might be behind. Your mic did go a bit loud at one
Okay.
point.
That's strange. Okay. I think Matt and Ron have both got excited that I said shaft. Sorry.
I think with starfish, it's just having a mature system, a deep
Yeah.
enough land bed, and a larger system is obviously best.
I'd say even with a sand shifter, wait at least 6 months to a year before you put a sand
Sure.
shifter in. As
Yeah.
well, otherwise you're just going to watch this thing slowly disintegrate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I lost a red and a blue linkia. My red one just went too close to my pistol shrimp,
Really?
and the pistol shrimp murdered it. It murdered everything in my tank. Anything that went anywhere near its cave was dead, including the bicolor blenny that was 8 times its size.
My first mantis shrimp Hulk, he was in with a big serpent star. One night, the serpent star decided to go down his burrow, and he popped out like, "What you think you're doing?" And he just gave it the biggest thud ever on that central disc. And like something out of anime, like this starfish slowly crawled out of the hole again, and then out in the sand, the central disc just suddenly exploded.
Tom's asking if you've got any Bruce Lee's boner, but of course that's Ron's name for it. And I can't remember what the real name for it is. So hopefully he'll put the real name in the chat.
I wonder if a time will ever come where Ron's names end up replacing a lot of the true names, and we're all walking around.
I think they should, and I actually think that the live stream when we had Ron on and we did the coral name quiz, and I made up a load of extra ones. I mean, there's a whole load of opportunity there for other coral names as well. I think we should name them all after them. It's Montipora Kung Pao.
Oh yeah, that's on the it's on the back wear box underneath down the bottom here. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Okay.
Pile down there.
I thought Bruce Lee's boner was a different one, but
Yeah, you see, when he said that, I was thinking, surely it's going to be an SPS. It's going to be a stick or a digitata of some kind because they're very phallic.
yeah, I think it was something in the name that was a little bit like Bruce Lee. I was sure it wasn't that one, but you know, I can't really question the guy who made the name up telling me what it is, can I? What else have we got? Got some more pictures in.
That was an old cold tank that I had last year for someone. That was a powder brown or a white cheek or a gold rim, depending on whichever you call which one, because people call both Japonicus and the other one, Nigerius. They both call them gold rims, and depending on where you get them from sometimes.
Okay.
To me,
is that a mauve firefish or purple firefish as well?
that's just a purple firefish, yeah. There was two of them. They were bought in separately and ended up pairing up, and I think the customer said around Christmas time that they've actually been laying eggs. Like
Wow.
they have eggs together.
Wow. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
I've got 2 red firefish in my tank, and they're a little bit skittish. They hide quite a bit, but when they come out, they're lovely fish. Really nice fish.
I like the Hellfrinchy, the pink ones, the Hellfrinchy ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the ones you mean. What's this?
That's a fish scale. I took
Okay.
a microscope to show people what I do. Like, that's off a clown, and you can see I'm checking for parasites. There's nothing on it, nothing. And that's a slime coat under a microscope, looking for any nasties in it.
Excellent. What sort of microscope do you use?
At the moment, it's
Not a £20 Amazon special.
no. I bought it's off Amazon as well. Well, it's off Amazon, but I bought one of the high grade university ones that was like £200.
Yeah,
I want
nice.
to buy another one so that it's got a digital display because it's more like looking down that thing sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, and with a digital one, you can take pictures as well, can't you? Rather than trying to hold your phone over the lens and.
I've got a phone attachment to it, but because the way it is, it's just loose, so I have to hold the phone steady as well.
Yeah. What else? What have we got here?
That's diatoms under the microscope. Or dinoflatulence, one of the two. I was checking for someone.
Yeah, I saw you do sort of diagnosis.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah. If you've got like unknown algae in your tank, if you can send me a sampling, I'll have a look and tell you whether it's diatoms or dinos, and then what course of action you could possibly take, because I'll tell you what species it is as well.
Now, you've said send a sample in, but I think we should probably clarify that you're not going to count swimmers for people. No, okay.
Please don't send that kind of sample in.
Oh, pipefish.
Yeah, they're a pair of candies that I got in for myself a while ago.
Yeah, I had a pair of blue stripe. They bred a few times. I saw babies once, but I think the parents just ate them every time. And then I moved house, and when I moved house in January, they got too cold and one of them died. So I now only have one, fortunately.
Sadly, they perished because one took to frozen, and the other one just wouldn't eat anything at all. And then the other one died. And then when the other one died, the other one just stopped eating entirely as well, and slowly starved and passed away. Even though I offered it live food and frozen, it just wouldn't take anything. But I do have a pair of blue stripes, and like you, they're mating all the time. Except I've never seen any babies in my tank. All I can tell you is that the male's always carrying eggs on that underbelly. He's got that bright orange bulge from where he's carrying babies all the time. All the time. I've had him a year and I've never seen him not carrying eggs.
Yeah. So it was the first batch that I saw because I knew when he was started carrying the eggs. So I knew it was probably a little bit over 2 weeks, and we'd see them. And I came home and I saw he looked like he only had half the number of eggs as previous. And then I looked around in the tank, and because it was in my little Fluval Evo, and right at the top of the surface, I could see one, and then I could see another one, and then I saw a third one, and then I saw one of them go along and just go and eat it.
Yeah, there's benefits of fish producing in your tanks, is sometimes it's free food.
Yeah, there's it's a good job we did mention, because Ron's already creating a sample. Rob's done a sample. Yeah. I'm not going to put up Matt's comment. What else?
Like to try and breed my blue stripes actually at some point. That'd be interesting to try and do.
Yeah. So my next step was when the fry are born, they seek out light. And I think that's where it was going wrong, because they were going to the top and then the other fish were finding them. So I thought what I can probably do is get a breeder box with the grate in the bottom, put the male in the top, and then put a little LED light on the bottom of the breeder box, so that when they're born, they immediately go down rather than up.
Yeah. That's really cool. I've been considering ever since I've seen them with eggs that at some point I will set up like a separate system and try and breed them, like take them out and then do it properly and see if I can rear the young up, feed them. I think it'd be cool to do a little side project like that whenever I can, if I can.
Yeah. Your new best friend, John, who lives very near you, is saying, what lights, salt and water changes do you use?
On which tank?
Well, is it different then?
Depending on which tank, yeah.
Okay.
Each tank's got its own thing that seems to work. And
so what are the differences and why then?
Well, I on one tank, I rely mainly on dosing than doing water changes, because I found that when I was doing water changes, it was more detrimental to the health of my corals. I don't know why, but I must have been causing a swing somewhere. But when I stopped doing water changes and just started dosing the Oceamo, everything just found this level, line where it was happy. So I was keeping it there. But that, just because that worked on one tank doesn't mean it's going to work on another, because every tank's its own ecosystem.
Yeah.
So on some of the other tanks, I have to perform water changes more than I rely on the dosing for some strange reason. Why? Can't tell you. My guess would be it's probably something microbial that is beyond me at the moment, something probably bacterial going on, something with different microbiomes in the bacteria going on there. Like it might be a different species populates this tank compared to that tank or that tank, and that's why that's different to this and that's different to that.
Yeah. Where did we get to? No more comments. So, rock flower anemone.
Yep.
And and then I'm not even going to try and say that anymore. Oh dear.
Yeah.
Yes, anemone. There we go. So is that one for you or
No,
or
that
one
was
for
that
customer?
was for a customer. Yeah. Good old possum wrasse. That was a
Yeah.
while ago.
Mm.
Yeah. That was for someone. The top end. That was
Another
just
copper band.
yeah.
What's the most popular requested fish?
You're looking at it.
Yeah, I thought that would be the answer.
Mm.
Everyone wants a fat, healthy eating copper band.
Mm.
Yes.
Still got him. He took 3 months to eat anything. Like, he would only eat live mussels 3 months, and all of a sudden, after 3 months, he just started eating anything that I put in there out of the blue. Just
Yeah. Have you ever been bitten by a radioactive spider? I just see Spider-Man's arm in that picture.
Oh, I used to work. I used to work at the cinema. There's some old standees in there. Yeah.
Sorry, that was a proper random question, wasn't it?
Blue spiny lobster. Still got that little. It's downstairs. Just
Yeah, interesting.
yeah.
I've heard a lot of people say they've only ever seen theirs once, and that was when they put it in the tank. And it's just hidden ever since. Do you see yours much?
Yeah, it's well, there it was about that big. Now he's about that big. So he's just sat on the rock out in the open all the time.
Okay.
Midas plenty that was discolored because it was scared to death when I just put it in the tank.
Yeah.
Oh, band, yeah.
Oh, look, a copper band.
It's a trend here.
Powder blue.
Ooh.
Same black blue.
Same one
Yeah.
again.
More shadow.
Is that
that
your
your
one or is that a different one?
Different one.
Okay.
They're quite. They're not difficult, but they are difficult. It's really weird. With Moorish idols, I think they're difficult because people are feeding them the wrong things. Their digestive systems are built for like algae and sponges, so you need to be feeding that more than mysis and brine shrimp, because mysis and brine shrimp will tend to get stuck in their digestive systems and they get constipated and they die from constipation rather than anything else. So people are like, oh, my Moorish idol's eating, yay. And a year later it's dead. They're like, oh, it died, but it's eating. I don't know why. It's because you're feeding the wrong things to it. I find that they tend to go mental for that ocean nutrition angel formula. It's got sea sponge in it as well. They go mental for it.
Okay. Yeah, I had a blue sponge in my tank before, and I quite like the idea of getting another one. So I'll have to remember not to get a Moorish idol.
Yeah, they'll decimate any sponge, even spider sponges. If you've got them in your tank, if it's visible, gone.
Yeah.
That was my baby Achilles before he's grown up. He was only about that big, pea size.
Yeah.
Now he's about 3 inches and got the proper teardrop on him. Nice.
So John's got a good question here. With all of the quarantine and effort and all of the expense that you have from that side of it, how much more than your normal price does that make the fish?
I don't generally charge much more than what retail are. I take a lot of the medication out of my own expenses at the moment. just because I think it's fair that way. I don't. I know I could charge more for what I do. I just don't think it's fair. Personally, I think everyone should be able to access that sort of help without.
Yeah, I think there is a demand out there, and I think people are willing to pay
sure.
more.
Yeah.
I mean, Harry and I have been talking about this with the copper band, because there is someone that brings in copper bands, but they intentionally select the healthiest ones and bring them in, and they import them directly rather than through a wholesaler or anything like that. But it makes them more expensive, but he still sells them all. So I think, people are more than willing to pay for that service, and I think they understand the value in it.
I think from personal kind of perspective and what I've heard from others, even chatting with you, I think people are willing to pay double, if not more, what the fish would cost at an LFS.
True, but I also appreciate that. I don't know. I just think I'm trying to make it more accessible without taking advantage.
Sure. There's a line there for sure.
Yeah, obviously, it depends on what the fish is as well.
Yeah.
On what the price is, but I don't want to take the mick out of people. I legit, all I want is just to help and pass on knowledge and further the hobby.
So I think, to put it into perspective, the copper band I got from my local fish shop. It came in via TMC. My local fish shop is a little bit more expensive than the average. Not outrageously so, but he's a little bit more and more on the expensive side, and I paid 57 quid for that. I know that the other guy that we were talking about that hand selects them and directly imports them, they're 110. And people still are more than willing to pay that.
Depending on the size of the copper band, like generally they're somewhere in the 65 mark for a fully treated one. But also the benefit is I'm not going to let a fish go if I'm not happy with it. If it's not eating or anything like that, I'll tell you. If anything did perish in my care as well, I replace it. If you want a refund, I'll give you a refund. But if it passes, I will replace that fish when I next go to visit at my own cost as well.
Yeah, and I think that's why people are willing to pay that bit more for it, So, and that's why those ones that are 110 are still selling, because they have a higher chance of success, and they're not taking the risk. They're willing to pay more for that. So I think,
I suppose when you're paying more as well, you're aware that it's costing more to kind of get that fish to where it is, and that's why you're willing to pay that extra bit more. But I hear you, and it's incredible that you're wanting to do what you are, essentially free of charge, from what I'm hearing, to further the hobby that you love, and that's
I try and keep it as fair and as cheap as I possibly can.
Yeah,
I guess the best way of putting it, because like I've said throughout this conversation, I just want to help and make sure that people are getting the healthiest fish that they can get.
Yeah. Really cool. And I know that Ron and Rob would both, I've heard them both have this argument before, that the livestock prices are too low and the equipment prices are too high in this hobby. And I think that's, that if you pay more for something, you tend to treat it better and care about it more. Yeah. don't know. It's a very, very strange route the conversation to take. With telling you that we think you should be charging more for your fish.
Well, I'm listening and open to feedback and opinions, but at the end of the day, I just want to help people.
Yeah, and I think it's really admirable. But the people also want that service to be sustainable and available in the future. So it needs to pay its way, and it needs to be worthwhile for you, so that in the future you're still here doing it. And I think that's a service to the people as well. But anyway, that's got a little bit deep there, hasn't it? Evening, Peter Parry. I hope you're doing well. So I think we've got a couple more pictures.
That was another Achilles, yeah. Oh, there's a bit of the electric blue just in that one. As I mentioned earlier in the conversation, where I was like, I thought they were a bit dull at first until I had them in. And as you can see there in the dorsal, they have this
Really see it, yeah.
Yeah, like flare of electric blue that makes it striking, especially when they're really pissed off and you go,
And then
another possum.
Possum rice and a Bangor cardinal.
Yeah, there was a pair in there.
Yeah, interestingly, I've got 3 Bangor. I had 6, and one of them decided it was going to murder the rest. It still tries to murder one of the other 2, but it's paired up with one, and I've seen them all, dancing around and collecting eggs, and then the next day all the eggs were gone. So I don't know what happened there, but yeah, exactly. And this is what I'm saying. I guessed that Rob or Ron, one of them, was going to pipe up with this. That cheap fish carry less meaning for some people. Yeah, and someone else saying yes, equipment prices are ridiculous.
Yeah, I think that's a nice synopsis of it. Really, is these rather large companies can quite easily charge far more than what a product is worth in terms of material. There's the idea, the concept, overhead, so on and so forth. But in terms of that end product, although it's got a small market, I get that. But I think most people would agree a lot of prices are inflated when it comes to equipment. And these are companies that don't necessarily need to charge so much. And it tends to, unfortunately, be the good people and the smaller people that,
I think the only way they could justify in some of the prices that they charge for some of those products is if they lasted as long as they said they would.
Mm-hmm.
They don't, though, do they? Quite often, those products don't have quite that much of a shelf life before you have to replace them. Say if you get a big brand name pump, won't be 2 years down the line until you have to replace it.
Yeah. I mean, like I say, I think you've got plenty of scope to make those prices more likely to cover your expenditure, and to make it worthwhile. But yeah, I think that was the last picture as well. I did see a comment in here. Yeah, John. So John said, "Are you careful who you sell to? Is there someone you say, no, I don't think you'd look after that? Sorry, you can't have it."
No, not really. I can tell you what. I did have someone pay me to do this process for them, and then I took the fish over to them, watched them put it in their tank, which their tank had an active outbreak of white spot, and I was just like, why have I gone through all this hard work for you to throw a fish into that? It's essentially just undone everything that I've done. That's the only time where I've ever thought, maybe I won't do that again. But
I think that must have been so heartbreaking when it sounds as if your heart is so in it.
yeah, when he did, like when they did that, I was just like, oh, I went away, just kind of like, God, that was I wanted to say something, but I didn't say something, type thing. Yeah, but I'm not. I mean, should I be careful? Is that what he's trying to tell me? I don't know.
I think sometimes
That's not you, I guess.
Yeah, you can probably pick up when people are buying a fish and you think that fish is going to die.
Sometimes, I guess you can only tell that when you met the person. Though a lot of my requests come through differently at the moment, and even more so when the website has the fish added onto it. When I finish building my fish rack system to stock more, there'll be fish on the website, so then I'll have zero control over who I'm selling to then, because it'll be on the website and it'll just be in the game. But the thing that I do like about meeting customers is just the interaction and getting to know them and talk to them and learn what they like and what floats their boat in the hobby, because everyone has something else that interests them, whether it's the fish, coral, or the weird little creatures that scatter in between.
Yeah. Matt's sending me very disturbing. He's sending me a picture of me. Matt has sent me a picture of me and a very disturbing picture of him and a Hoover. Yeah, very strange. I'm just going through my notes. What else have we got on here? Because I wrote loads of questions and then properly went off piste as soon as the pictures came out. And I do this thing where I'll go onto ChatGPT and I'll say, "Hey, I'm interviewing this person. What questions should I ask?" And it gave me a whole load of questions, and I'm like, "Did you even look at this person's website? Like, this is their website. Are there better questions I can ask?" It's like, "Oh yeah. Why don't you ask all these questions?" So it was but I think we've covered them. It was about quarantine and health protocols, community engagement. That you're scheduled to attend Aqua. What did you think of Aqua 2024? We've kind of covered all of that. What's it said here? Could you highlight some of the unique or standout species you currently offer? But I think you're doing like to order, so you can kind of say
fish are by request at the moment. Inverts, it's whatever. Like inverts is also a request, but also if I go down and there's something strange, I'll be like, yes, I'll have that, all that. As well, so I don't think you see slipper lobsters very often, so I got those. I've got some Indonesian peppermint shrimps in, which is obviously not something usually seen because everyone wants the wasata. Is it? Not going to butcher the name, but they want the ones that eat the peppermint Aptasia rather than different species, because some of them are really pretty, like different colorations, different stripes on them, rather than just that standard red with the sometimes white dots throughout. I like getting different shrimps. Something I've got in at the moment that you usually don't see or haven't seen in a while is I've got abalones. Giant stomatellus are literally about that big.
Oh wow.
I have thought about getting one of them.
Yeah, they're cool. Although when you're digging around a tank and you forget they're in there, they're a bit weird when your fingers make contact with them. You're like, oh no. Mantis shrimp. I love my mantis shrimp.
Yeah.
Obviously, Pepper's mine. I've got sexy shrimp, some weird urchins. Like everyone looks at tuxedos and diademas, long spines. I've got those heart urchins which bury under the sand as well.
Yeah.
Add in shingle or armadillo urchins, those ones where they don't have spines, they literally look like roof tiles, and that's
Yes.
down to
So
the
Ron is very fond of the purple helmet urchin.
yeah. Is that
I think he would have bought one if he didn't. So he was at a shop recently, and they said, "Oh, it eats other urchins."
Might explain what happened to the other urchin. Yeah, I believe that. Yeah.
Doesn't it exclusively eat urchins, though?
Well, I don't know, because I saw it. I was watching another video on, I can't remember whose channel it was, this week, and they were talking about it, and they said that it just eats detritus.
They say that about tuxedo urchins. Yet tuxedo urchins are known to occasionally stroll across zoas or other corals, and you'll see that indiscriminate line of where they've just gone through indiscriminately. So I think with a lot of animals, especially urchins, where it's got no brain, it's literally just a mouth moving all the time. They're just indiscriminate, and if it's in the way, it's just going to get chowed down and tried. Whether they like it or not, it's a different matter.
Yeah. So again, John says, if people aren't local, do you post livestock?
I do, yes. Via DX. That's all fish via DX. There's no other options, because they're I think one of a few careers in the UK that are licensed to deliver live fish. Inverts can be sent via Royal Mail, but I don't always trust Royal Mail. So, but yes, I do. Yeah.
Tom, do you have a favourite tank to kind of just watch, to look at? Which one? Yeah, I thought it might be.
Big one, yeah. I just sit there all day watching the Moorish Idol and my Copperband and the Achilles just swim about and do whatever. Hand on heart, that Moorish Idol does peck at all my SPS, but he's not killed anything. If anything, it seems to be promoting further growth on the coral. So I like that. Yeah. Is that just your one tank behind you?
Yes, as far as everyone knows at the moment.
Are you worried about multiple tank tours, Harry?
Shh.
So if you don't know already, Tom, there is this thing called Reefy AF, and I'm sure you can guess what the AF stands for. And it's a great bunch of misfits like me and Ron and lots of people. You're on it, aren't you, Harry?
I am, yes.
Yeah.
Very
Harry, the well-behaved misfit. But yeah, there's a whole load of people on it. It's just unfiltered discussions and chats and meets and tank tours and stuff. Okay. And yeah, Ron that runs it, he is like a vulture. If you join and you've got a tank, or if he finds out you've got a second tank, then yeah, you might end up doing more than one tour. But yeah, they're great.
No, it's a really great place. The Discord. I'd never used Discord for anything before, and I joined. I thought, let's give it a go, and love it. Every single day, I'm checking it, but it's quite hard to keep up, to be honest.
I'll have a look. Yeah, I'll have a look. But yeah, I mean, in this room alone, there's 4 tanks. There's one there, 1 pine there, and 2 over there. So,
wow.
Ron's got his diary out.
Yeah, we've got a couple of other comments here. Lee says, which fish have you found most difficult to QT?
A fish that you're probably not going to expect me to say. Flashlights. Do you know what flashlight fish is?
No, I've heard something that sounds very similar to flashlight, but that's something more that Matt specialises in, I think.
They're generally thought of as a deep sea fish.
Okay.
They look like a cardinal, but under their eye, they've got this little sack. And I think I sent you a video in the chat. If I don't know.
Let me look.
They communicate with each other with bioluminescence. So at night, these little patches like flap up and down, and they can emit different lights using symbiosis relationship with a bacteria, and they can even tell you what mood they are in by the different colors they can flash them. So they can flash them like tinges of green, more tinges of blue, more tinges of white.
Wow.
Fascinating. They were a pain in the ass to get through quarantine.
What made them so difficult?
They kept signaling to the others to escape.
I think it's because they did not like daylight. In the day, they would scarper. They wouldn't really feed. So I had to go at night and feed them more. And it took them a bit longer to become accustomed to tank life. And also, I lost a few of them, but it wasn't through the quarantine process. I think through discussion with the wholesaler, it was a captive issue because they had an issue with their buoyancy. A few days in, a couple of them just started losing control of mobility, and eventually their belly started to float and they turned upside down, but they were still trying to swim. Yeah. So I think whoever captured them, if they caught them at depth, they might have not decompressed them properly.
Yeah. I'm just flicking through the pictures now to see if I can see what you're talking about. We did have another couple of questions. Let me see if I can put one of them up first. When ordering, do you take a deposit or the full price? How does that work?
It depends on what you want. Usually I'm happy to take a deposit, or if you want to pay full price, it's something that can be discussed depending upon what fish it is. Obviously, if it's something ridiculous, like I want a bandit angelfish from Hawaii, you might want to pay for it in advance if I can get hold of it. But that's just a random thing that I just pulled out of nowhere there. Like I said, if anyone's interested, they're welcome to message me on Instagram at any point.
Yeah, and I've got your website there. I can put up on the screen. I've just found some more pictures that we haven't looked at. So flick back to that.
Mystery wrasse, yeah.
Yeah, and more Scheidel, copper band.
Yep.
What do you think of the salinity pen?
It's all right. It's all right for what you need it for. I make sure it's calibrated quite often. I check it all the time. I double check it against refractometer that I keep calibrated as well. So far, mine's not drifting.
I really like it. No one else seems to. I genuinely really like it.
Thank you. I was trying to be like neutral there, but I
do. I really like it. I have a bulk box of calibration.
Yeah,
fluid.
I've not had any issues like anyone else experienced. So I quite like it. I like it.
I think all of the feedback I'd heard is it was consistent, but it was never correct, which isn't a massive problem if you know how much it's off by.
True. Yeah.
So, I want to talk about dodgy salinity readings. No, I won't.
Yeah. Go on, do
it. The apex does like to. Once it's set and it's working, fine, brilliant. But to get it going initially can sometimes be. Here we go.
There's mine.
Yeah.
And it's look, it's ranged from 33.8 to 34.6.
Yeah.
But and this is my knockoff AliExpress probe. But I found that better than the Neptune probe that I had before that.
Interesting.
Because the Neptune probe I had before it, the line would be completely stable. It would never move. Then suddenly it would jump by a huge amount.
Yeah, no, I'm a big fan in the Apex and everything, but trouble I had with that probe.
Yeah. And I see a horseshoe crab.
Yeah,
Nice.
I had those in last year. Yeah.
Yeah. If they didn't get so bloody big, that would be really cool to have. Is that the same?
No. That was the first thing that disappeared that I took to Aqua last year. The moment someone came in, the first person who came to me, they saw it and they took it immediately.
Where were you at Aqua? I can't remember.
I was unfortunately quite far out of the way. I was across some frag rocks.
Yes. Okay. That's where. So I definitely spent a bit of time there.
Yeah, I was directly opposite them. We were chatting all weekend. Yeah. Amphias. Achilles, I think.
Yeah. Oh, look, a copper band.
Yeah. Same.
What is it? Sorry?
That's the same. The Huma, Puma, Kuma, the reef trigger, the Hawaiian state fish.
Yeah, I thought I'd get you to try and say it. Yeah, okay, and we've seen this one. This is the video. I can't find that image. Can you remember?
Yeah, look at that one.
This one here?
Yeah, have a look in. I'll send it to you again.
Yeah, okay. Let's go back. So I think there were some more questions while you're doing that. Tom, no, not Tom. Rob asked, I'm looking for it, but he was asking, can you get bobbit worms?
Yes. I had one.
Okay.
I think I sent that to you in a picture as well. Hold on 1 second.
That's really weird. I seem to have missed like a whole chunk of pictures.
I did send you like an army of spam. So yeah.
God, I scrolled too far back and I'm struggling to catch. That's the bobbit worm one. Yeah. So the bobbit worm. Can you get purple helmet urchins?
If that's armadillo / shingle urchins, yeah.
Yes. I think Ron would quite like one.
Hold on, I will send you a picture as well. Where are you? Send video and picture.
Yeah, I'm just quickly having a little look through. See if I can see any other questions for you while that's downloading.
Steve, how did you mount your Stratton?
With the kit it comes with.
Oh, it comes with the hanging kit.
So it comes with a couple of little fixings that you screw into the ceiling.
Yeah.
So I did have a look, and I think it's supposed to come with some butterfly clips
for
that you push through, and then they flap out for plasterboard.
Yeah.
Mine didn't have that, But luckily I had some plasterboard fixings. One of the holes lined up the joist anyway, so that one was
Nice.
totally fine. And the other one, I just put a plasterboard screw in first and then screwed into that. And then you get this cable that passes through a hole and has a nut on the end to hold it. Screwed that in, and then it just threads in, and it's got a very funky leveling system. I did a video of me unboxing it and installing it and testing the power on it. I need to edit all of that, and hopefully that should go live on Wednesday.
Very nice.
So let's have a look on these latest videos that you sent. So let me click on that, mute it, share my screen. So here is the first video. Oh, wow.
There's flashlights.
Wow.
That's mental.
So would you need a dark tank for them?
If you wanted to see the luminescence, or you'd get up at night. The gentleman I got them in for, he got them in for a custom tank that he had with some NPS corals in.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And where do they come from? Sorry.
Indo-Pacific.
Yeah.
There's actually, I want to believe it's true, but at the same time, I'm not sure. It's like it could be one of those wives' tales from the region. But apparently, at night, some of the fishermen use the flashlight fishes when they're at the surface on the reefs. They use them to guide through the rocks as they shoal, using the binoculars as they follow the fish.
That is cool if it's true.
Yeah, it would be cool if it's true.
That is a purple helmet urchin.
Yeah, I can get those.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
There you go, Ron. Get in touch with Tom.
And that's the bobbit worm.
Freaky looking things. I thought they were fatter than that.
It was a baby. It was only like a little tiny thing. And they're strangely beautiful because all down them, they've got like this.
Yeah, they're like mother of pearl type pattern, aren't they?
Well, I mean, that one was red, but in a light, it would look like you. The only way I could think to describe it is like you've pulled a holographic Pokemon card and you look at it in the light, watching that little shine on them.
Yeah, quite funky. We did have a couple more questions. I'm mindful that we're kind of getting a bit late now, but we'll go through some of the questions.
Well, I'm happy to come back at any point.
Yeah, I think it would be good. We'll see about. There was one. Tom, no, you're Tom. Lee was asking about the slipper lobster.
The biggest one's about that. The smallest one's about that, and they're on the website, so you can have a look. Because on the website, I try and give you the scientific name. I also give you a description as well and what they eat, blah blah blah, where you'd find them. I've just ID'd those slipper lobsters. They're the Japonica. Hold on, I can tell you right now.
Did we scare him off? What happened?
I'm not sure.
Oh, he's back. He's back.
Oops.
There
Yeah, I made an error. Like, hold on. I closed the wrong window.
We were like, did we say something?
I think it took us both a second to clock as well. We were just kind of waiting for something to happen.
Sorry. I closed the window when I was trying to open the other one. I'm just trying to find the species name. There it is. It is Parabacus japonicus. It's the Japanese slipper lobster.
That sounded like something Harry Potter would say.
Pretty much, yeah. Isn't that what most Latin names are? Like some kind of wizarding spell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So, last couple of things on my list. Let me get my notes back up and share my screen again. Here we go. So, Friday Night Live with the Reefing Network is going to be Tom, Ron, Rob, Drippy, and Sean. And they're going to be featuring John and Cam's massive, properly massive Bali reef tank.
It's quite something.
I'm guessing that's a picture of it in the background there. So that it's insanely massive. Yeah, I know Tom's messaged me and he's been getting together all of the material for it, which is there's a lot there. And then on Sunday we have Jamie from Reef and Teeth on with his fancy marine spec frag rack.
I'll tell you what, that fish room is quite something. His tank its main display is phenomenal.
Yeah, I would. I'll have to go and call in and see him at some point when I next go over and visit AAC.
Yeah, such a lovely guy as well. So nice.
Yes, yeah. So yeah, I'll be on with him on Sunday, which I'm looking forward to. And Tom has messaged me and said he's about to post a really funny Instagram post about the Friday Night Live if everyone wants to check it out from the Reefers Network. Only other things for me to say really are check out Reefy AF if you're not already. If you need any 3D printing or phytoplankton or copepods or baby boring shrimp, anything like that, check out Marine Spec. If you're not already, check out John B's YouTube. Really disappointed he wasn't on tonight, or Dave, because I've got some great little sound bites I wanted to use on them. But they'll keep for another evening. Have a look at Harry's fantastic new video that you said doesn't seem to be doing as well as you hoped, but I thought it was really good. And it really resonated with me. So check out Harry's latest video and check out Mantis Reefs. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
Anything else you want to add, guys?
Not from me. Nope.
No.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.